Okay, check this out. You are telling a story and people surrounding you are listening to you very carefully and attentively. All of a sudden, did you feel that story? Or your story has only ups, no downs, and you go flat like this? In this video, we will talk about strobe. Not just the strobe effect inside Resolume. I mean, yeah, that. But we're going to go in depth, such as what is strobe, why is strobe, and even important, why not to strobe.
And how to make your own strobes using Resolume wire.
Whoa, Mr. Ghost with a very familiar voice. Okay, before you take us to next level, we will quickly learn to control and mix strobe effects inside Resolume. And when we're ready, we will challenge ourselves and learn 5 alternatives to strobing. This video topic idea was suggested by Mr. Ghost with very familiar voice. In this video, there might be a surprise coming up, so watch till the end. So let's start with what is strobe. So there is a lighting fixture category which is called strobe. One of them are here. We VJs took that inspiration from that light and applied into our visual. So a strobe is a super fast light flashing effect, usually bright, constant series of on and off, maybe 1 or 0. But why is it? Because it grabs everyone's attention. Think of it like a flickering effect that passes with your music. Just like a strobe lighting fixtures, VJs use strobe effect to uplift energy, creating a suspense or a build. Now the question is, how do we strobe in Resolume? Let's say we have our VJ set all prepared here, but here I'm just having 5 or 6 footages. These are actually called Waterfall by Unit 44. I'm going to leave a link in the description. By the way, this is my camera. So we could go and type strobe here, but we can do it even faster. But how about let's work on composition. Let's minimize everything we don't need. Let's double click here and type strobe. There we go. We have strobe. We have slice strobe, by the way. We're going to get into that. So whenever we have strobe, this starts flashing because the frequency is 0.5, the boring one. It can go even boring. But we're going to straight away jump to 0.99 because this is the highest one. Let's say, okay. So we can, of course, change the opacity and change the color, maybe with this or just white for now. So now that we know that we need some controls of strobe, this one, maybe from HSB, this one, let's have the saturation and maybe this one. Yes, we need all 4 of these controls to control our strobe. How do you do that? Let's connect all 4 of them to dashboard so that we have control in one place. First, let's connect the frequency to the dashboard 1. Okay, we are going to fix this. So our minimum value would be 0.66 and maximum would be 0.99. So we can control the speed with this one, this dashboard. So let's connect the opacity to the second one. Now we can mix our strobe. This is so cool already. Now let's try hue to dashboard 3 and then the saturation to dashboard 4. Now we have some control over our strobe. So now that we have all our controls connected to our dashboard, these are all essential ones, but going to there and using mouse to control is just silly. So we are going to start with a crazy way, a very secret way that is called keyboard mapping. Come on. So let's go to keyboard shortcut pressing Ctrl+Shift+K on Windows or Command+Shift+K on Mac. Let's make some shortcuts. Let's start with this bypass. We have assigned num0. Let's go and make sure this is set to piano and invert so whenever we have this one pressed, this is on. Okay, next step we will let's go to Ctrl+Shift+K again, keyboard shortcut. Let's go to frequency. Let's press 1. This will be our frequency level 1. So this is going to be a value. What value it's gonna be? So this is going to be 0.66, our slowest value. So I'm going to click right button and duplicate this shortcut once and this shortcut twice. So now on the second one, I'm going to change the mapping to num2 and I'm going to change the value to, let's say, in between 0.88 somewhere. And the third one would be num3. This one I want 0.99. So let's get out of keyboard shortcuts. Let's try what happened. So now we have our strobe. This is our strobe level 1. This is our strobe level 2. And this is our strobe level 3. So now we have 3 levels of strobe in our numpad. Let's try this. Dig 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 daga 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 dig 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 grrr, dig 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 daga 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 grrr. Okay. So far we have made 2 shortcuts with keyboard mapping. One is opacity and one is frequency. You could go more crazy with colors and saturation and hue, but I'm sure you can do that. Let's dive into the MIDI part, how we can use this with our MIDI controller. And we have a beautiful MIDI controller called MIDI Mix. I have made a detailed video how MIDI Mix goes with VJs. I'm gonna put the link in the description. In here, I'm going to connect few knobs to my dashboard and control. To do that, let's press Ctrl+Shift+M. Let's connect this for this for dashboard, and for the bypass I would this one. Let's make sure that our button is toggle and this is a piano, and of course invert. Let's get out of MIDI mapping pressing Ctrl+Shift+M. So now we have our on off and we have 4 controls. So now we can control, we can mix, we can change the color and the saturation. Oh, this is beautiful. So far, these are basics. If you want to get to intermediate level in Resolume fast, you can complete this video training course where you can get your basics covered easily. I'm going to leave a crazy offer somewhere hidden in this video, so follow along. So until now in Resolume, we were just strobing like an animal in the composition, but we could go a bit sophisticated. How is that? Let's check it out. To start, we could have one composition strobe, of course, for the extreme moment, but we could also get this one into our layers. To do that, we could just hold Ctrl Alt and drag this to a layer. So this has a copy of the same effect, but we have the same strobe here. So now we can separately have a strobe on layer 2 and maybe mix it down. At the same time, we have another master strobe composition. I mean, if your VJing is about strobing, you could go as detailed as that. By the way, don't forget, you could use strobe as a clip. That is going to affect all the layers underneath. So you could go somewhere. Let's say we have a purple strobe that is mixing and mixing out. Oh, by the way, this layer also has so many strobe in one comp. So we can mix the strobe as a clip. So far, whatever we were doing were affecting the whole composition or the whole image, but we're going to take it somewhere advanced. Let's go to advanced output, pressing Ctrl+Shift+A. Let's add one slice. Let's say in this slice, we want to have a triangle. Okay, how is this triangle looking? This is looking fine. We want to have another triangle. Let's rename this called TRI1. Let's call this TRI2. Let's say we rotate this one to 90 degree, a different triangle. And then we have, we already had a slice. Let's make a circle. How does this circle look? This looks good. So we have a happy slice family here. Let's go to slices. Okay, let's make this slice a crazy slice like this. So now we had one clip slice. Let's hold Ctrl or Command and drag it to make a copy. So for the first one, I'm going to drag this one. Okay, now the copy. For the second one, I'm going to drag this one. For the third one, I would drag the circle. So now I have many kind of strobe, and of course I could just control them here. Okay, let's go a bit advanced, but let's go to the composition strobe we made. Let's check out the blend mode. This will give a beautiful middle point. Let's look for that. Let's say we have shift RGB. What happens if we shift RGB with strobe? Oh, this is a newer, crazier level of strobe. Oh, don't you agree? So now that you can strobe, but the question is how much? This cannot be the only effect that you use to raise excitement. This is going to get pretty boring soon once you keep using strobe to raise excitement over and over. So what can be other tools or effects to raise similar excitement like strobe? So now we will go through alternative categories, rather effects that shall create almost same excitement but not strobing. So the first alternative way to create excitement would be glitch. We could glitch using shift glitch. Another type of awesome visual glitch comes from total visual annihilation. I'm going to leave a link in the description where you can get this awesome wire patch by Resolume. So another way of raising excitement is kind of RGB shift that gives you drunk look. So this is the basic RGB shift. Look at what we have done here. So we have some randomization going on, but we are controlling just the bypass. But let's see what we have done here. Oh, this is crazy. So let me explain how this effect is working. My effect blend mode is in displace. So the pixels are displacing in the middle point, but this is animating and the animation is very random like this. So it's total chaos going on. At the same time, this is blending. So if the strobing is about insanity, who does it better than Kaleidoscope? We could also alter strobe with this effect. How about let's change the blend mode to something weirder and maybe in the middle. So there is an awesome strobe plugin called Slice Strobe made by Capiti Hippo. Remember we made some slices. Let's use some slice strobe. This is crazy by the way. So we take slice strobe, we add the slices we want to deal with. Now we have a awesome slice strobe. Sweet, right? Finally, if the flavor of strobe is making chaos, who can do it better than Twitch with its preset called Chaos? Chaos! By the way, use this promo code to get 50% discount in Resolume Masterclass. Shh! Don't tell it to anyone, it's just for you. Okay, remember the ghost with familiar voice is none other than Mark from Resolume. He's going to teach you how to take things to your own hands.
Hey there, it's Mark from the official Resolume YouTube channel. Thank you Zunayat for having me over and letting me steal a segment in your video. Let's build a strobe effect from scratch using Resolume Wire. I'm starting out by creating a texture in node, going into an invert RGB node and into a texture out node. The texture in node represents the input in Arena, most likely a clip. The texture out node represents the processed output, post effect if you like. The invert RGB node is my method of alternative strobing. Let's continue. I will add an attack release node. This is essentially an up and down envelope running from 0 to 1 and back to 0. This is great for taking off the harsh edges or to get creative with. The 0 to 1 value goes into a float 4 node, since that is the type the channel's inlet likes. I'm connecting up the X, Y and Z inlets to control the RGB channels and set the alpha to 0. For now, I don't want to strobe the alpha channel. When I trigger the attack release, we can see the effect turning on and off, but too slow for a strobe. I'll fix this by exposing the attack and release time parameters. I'll set the range to be 0 to 1. I'm also setting the units to seconds to clearly communicate to the user what the range means. Now that starts to look like a strobe. I will expose the attack release node's main inlet. This exposes the option for manually triggering the strobe in Arena. Next we deal with the alpha channel. I am multiplying the boolean input with the attack release output. This enables us to turn alpha strobing on and off by effectively multiplying with either 0 or 1. Here I am boosting the attack release time to show that it is working. To finish up the patch, I want to add BPM synced strobing. I am making a transport beat node which sends out triggers at different rhythmic intervals. Here I'm strobing every beat. To make the interval selectable by the user, I'm adding a gate node. I'll make 4 inputs and hook up the beat, the 8th node and the 16th node outlets. The top inlet is kept empty. This will be our off option. I'll expose the gate node's main input and use the option count parameter in the node panel to create a custom menu. This will give the user quick and easy access to multiple strobing speeds in addition to the manual strobe button. Next, I'll clean the patch up with a quick selection and the auto layout shortcut. It is time to name and save our patch and test it in Arena. Hey Zunayat, ChatGPT told me this was a funny Bengali name for a strobe effect. I hope I haven't accidentally called my effect potato potato, but here we go. I'm saving the patch as an effect. This is needed for Arena to know that this is indeed an effect and that it should show up under the Wire Effects tab. After a quick cleanup in the dashboard panel, we are in Arena and ready to rock our new effect. I'll throw the effect on the entire composition by using Quick Search. We can see that our beat syncing works and we can play with the attack and release times to modify our strobe. Pretty sweet. I hope this inspires you to create your own strobe effect. If you're not yet a Wire user, you can grab this effect for free. A link will be in the video description. A big thanks to Zunayat for having me over. Keep up the good work and I'll see you in the next one.
Thank you so much Mark for giving us this awesome Wire patch. Jhalak Jhalak. Link will be in the description. And big thanks for naming this Wire patch in Bangla. But as expected, ChatGPT got it wrong. This came out Shine Shine. Your effect kinda look like Shine Shine. Is it? Is it? If you like the videos from this channel, I bet you're going to love our new channel called All About Stage Shows. There we're coming up with tons of VJ videos, MIDI controllers, VJ tricks and tips and whatnot. Hi, my name is Zunayat Sabbir Ahmed. I'm from a beautiful country called Bangladesh. And check out this video next where we have described this awesome strobe fixture but in a different way. And by the way, strobe in Bangla can be called chakanaka. So stay chakanaka until next time.